Man, don't play Helen Keller. You've got that smirk on you, and I'm going to tell you now, it's not going to go well if you try to play with me. Once you plead guilty, you can never undo this. This isn't like Target where you don't like it, you can just return it. Once you plead guilty, it will go on your record. You cannot take it off after that. Don't ever rely on a man. Men are just... Some men are good, some men are not very good.
There's a face you might not immediately recognize, but chances are you've stumbled across his courtroom footage somewhere online. And once you have, it tends to stick with you. Judge David Fleischer is a Texas judge who has built a quiet but unmistakable reputation for being something courts rarely are: genuinely human. Presiding over cases involving everything from drunk driving charges to petty theft, Judge Fleischer has drawn a growing audience who tune in not just for the law, but for the man delivering it. Today on Gavel and Verdict, we're pulling back the curtain on some of his most talked about courtroom moments. I'm Alex Monroe, and this is where law meets real life. Judge David Fleischer holds the bench at Harris County's Criminal Court of Law No. 5 in Texas, a courtroom dedicated to misdemeanor offenses. What sets his court apart from most is that the proceedings are frequently broadcast live, meaning anyone with an internet connection can pull up a chair and watch justice unfold in real time. What viewers typically encounter are defendants checking in on case progress, navigating bond conditions, or receiving updates on pending legal matters. Judge Fleischer first claimed his seat in 2018 and officially took the bench on January 1, 2019. He has since earned re-election, with his current term running through December 2026. But it's not his tenure that's making headlines. It's what he says and how he says it.
What do we owe the honor of El Famoso Arnold Lopez?
No, Judge.
I mean, really.
You're the famous one.
No, it's you.
My son sends me videos of you from Chicago.
Oh, wow.
Really?
No, I had a person reach out to us from Israel yesterday. I'm like, wow, crazy, huh?
You're famous.
No, whatever. I'm going to put a GPS monitor on you, and I'm forbidding you from going to any store that you have a prior contact with in a theft case. Do you understand? And if I find that you have any contact with any of these stores, I'm going to make your bond so high your teeth are going to fall out. Do you understand?
Sir.
Catch and release days are over. No more catch and release. We are going to get to the bottom of why this continues to happen. You need to start working. You have way too much time on your hands, and you are the epitome of self-destructive behavior. You need something to do with your life, Mr. Waters. You need to get a job. So this is what we're going to do. And we have a job fair that's coming up. Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
Upon the traffic stop, I found out that it was suspended.
I want to impart something to you, that I am making it a bond condition for you now that you're not to drive any vehicle for any reason. I don't care what your reason is. If I find that you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. I don't care if there's a burning building or Mother Teresa needs to go to church. You get into a car and drive, there's going to be HE double hockey sticks to pay. Do you understand?
For every viewer who's bookmarked a Judge Fleischer clip and called him refreshing, there's another who's raised an eyebrow. Critics have taken issue with what they describe as an overly casual tone from the bench, questioning whether the informality belongs in a court of law. Others have zeroed in on the bond restrictions he imposes, arguing they go beyond what the situation warrants. But Judge Fleischer has been candid about his philosophy in past interviews. He sees the defendants who pass through his courtroom not just as case numbers, but as people. And if helping them requires thinking outside the legal playbook, he's willing to do it. That mindset was on full display back on October 7th, when a defendant appeared before him facing consequences for repeated bond violations. The judge didn't hold back in the courtroom. His reprimand was firm and direct. But in a quieter moment, he pulled the defendant's attorney aside to make one thing clear. He would personally do what he could to make sure this person had a fighting chance. It was the kind of moment the cameras caught, but that no script could have written.
We were in here the other day and you were acting like it's all little bunnies jumping in the woods, all happy-go-lucky, knowing full well that you had a ton of bond violations. You were to have a curfew from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At 4:30 in the morning, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different violations where you were going out in the middle of the night. Guess what happens? Or do you have any response?
Your Honor, I've spoken to the family. I've spoken to Mr. Chavez. I recommended that he get started with some therapy, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to help you get started with that therapy right now. Guess what happens? Guess. He goes with you. Yeah, we'll get started real quick. We'll talk, I don't know, he'll pop up in tomorrow's docket. We can talk again, but he's out at 4:30 in the morning, 1 in the morning. It's unacceptable. He doesn't get it. So, his bond's $100 now. I'll make it a 5,001. You know, if they have issues making it, just let me know. We can talk. But I mean, I can't just let him go, you know? Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Let me be straight with you for a second. Putting together an episode like this one is no small task. We're talking hours spent combing through case transcripts, live stream archives, and legal records, all to make sure we're giving you something accurate, something that respects both the court and the people in it. And then I open the comments section. Every single time, without fail, someone has a new theory about which TV character I remind them of. I want you to know that lands. It does. But here's the thing. We keep showing up anyway because this work matters. And honestly, so do you. Later that same month, another case landed in Judge Fleischer's court that quickly veered into unexpected territory. A female defendant was already under scrutiny for allegedly violating her bond conditions by drinking alcohol, a substance she had been barred from consuming and was being regularly tested for. The results of her latest screening, however, told a more complicated story. She had tested positive, and the test had also revealed that she was pregnant. Standing before the judge, the woman pushed back firmly, insisting that something else must have skewed the results, that there had to be an error, an anomaly, anything but the obvious explanation. Judge Fleischer listened, and then, in a moment that's become very familiar to anyone who follows his courtroom, he made absolutely clear that he wasn't buying it.
Far along are you?
5 minutes.
She's consuming alcohol while she's while pregnant.
How?
You're 5 months pregnant. You have positive alcohol usage on August 3rd.
No.
Am I reading Mandarin? I mean,
That's
right?
according to the device. Yes, sir.
The device says that you're drinking.
That was hand sanitizer at my job, which I emailed my probation officer that day. It's not alcohol. That's why they took me out the register and put me on the floor to where I won't be around anything that consume alcohol, which is the hand sanitizer at my job. And I let my probation officer know.
Sanitizer dissipates in a matter of a second. Once you put it on and you're done like this, it dissipates in a matter of seconds.
But they write down all the registers and stuff. I have not consumed any alcohol at all.
Not what this report says. Not only does this report say that you're consuming alcohol, you have excessive skips while you're on probation as well. Your
Honor,
hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, so April 4th, skip test. April 16th, skip test. April 18th, skip test. April 24th, skip test. April 25th, skip test. April 29th, May 2nd, May 15th, May 19th, May 22nd, June 2nd, June 4th, June 8th, June 9th, June 13th, June 16th, June 23rd, June 25th, June 26th, June 30th, July 2nd, 5th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 15th, 16th, 18th, and it goes on and it goes on as the day is long.
I was here on the 11th. I seen you on the 11th. We had court. And I said, I work at the register, and I explained to my manager that I had to step away from the register to blow into my device. So as soon as they understood that I'm on a case to where I had to step away from the register, then they had allowed to me because I have 3 hours of window to blow into my device. So I had got that handled, which I told my probation officer as well.
We have clinicians that evaluate you to determine what the best course of action going forward on this probation is. They've deemed, after doing all their research, that the best way moving forward is to put you into a residential treatment program. I like to follow the advice of the clinicians because they know what they're talking about. Not only, are they saying this, but you're also providing us with evidence as to why it's a good idea. You're saying you're not consuming, but I have concrete evidence that you are, and I have dozens of skip tests when you're not supposed to be skipping.
What
I
day
know.
was they say I consume alcohol? Because that's the day that I emailed my lawyer that day, and I was at work.
It's not a negotiation. That's what they're recommending, and I think that it's a good idea. You have taken off on me 3 different times, Mr. Osborne. If you think that we are going to give you a PR bond, you are charged with assault bodily injury. You're facing a year in jail. You had an offer in this case where they were going to dismiss this case, and you have repeatedly taken off, not once, not twice, but thrice. I am not going to give you a PR bond, and we are taking you into custody now. Your bond is now set at $10,003 because of all the times that you have taken off. And I get that you're in high school, but the problem is that you have already taken off 3 times. If I let you go now, what does that tell you? What? It tells you that it's okay for you to do what you're doing and not to hold you accountable. And that's not what we do here. You need to understand that courts are here for a reason. We do court orders for a reason. And when you fail to comply, when you fail to show, there are real world consequences. And I don't know if you have anyone that's going to bond you out. If not, you will be stuck like Chuck with me until this thing is over. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm not into this pleading guilty, time served just to get out, just to ruin your life. I'm not going to let you do that. Guys, I'm not out for blood, but I want him to understand that we mean business. If he is unable to make a bond by tomorrow, then we can talk, and I'm happy to entertain perhaps something tomorrow. I get it that he's in high school, but I want him to understand that we mean business. And if I just let him go now, it's enabling him, and it's not a good thing. But I'm happy perhaps tomorrow, if he's unable to make bond, we can talk about a PR bond tomorrow.
Should we just set it for review for tomorrow?
He's going to come back tomorrow regardless because they'll auto-populate.
Okay.
Because that's what happens when we take someone into custody, they auto-populate for the next day. So we can talk about it tomorrow about, because I'm not going to let him plead guilty just to get out and just to get a conviction on his record. And I'm happy to do this, but I want him to understand that we mean business and we're not playing to games. So if he's still here tomorrow, we can talk about doing a PR bond and we'll let him try that. But I'm going to tell you now, he gets an ankle monitor, curfew, and I'm going to drug test him. And I'm going to be his dad. That's it. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Judge Fleischer has earned a reputation for measured restraint, a judge who leans toward dialogue over discipline, who tries to find the thread of understanding in even the most frustrating cases. But even the most patient person in a room has a limit. There are moments in his courtroom where that steady demeanor visibly cracks, where the calm gives way to something sharper, and the message he delivers leaves absolutely no room for interpretation. This was one of those moments.
Why do the people of Harris County get to pay for a lawyer for you when you don't do anything? How's that fair? Why you get to sit at home, play Xbox, well, why do the people of Harris County get to pay for your lawyer? How's that fair? You're able-bodied, There's no reason why you shouldn't be working. You need a job. I'm making it a condition of your bond now that you get a full-time job. And I'm bringing you back in 2 weeks to see what you have done. But as far as what you get to hang out and do nothing all day, and then I have to pay for your lawyer too? You want a back rub too? No. I will give you an application. I'm going to send it home, and then I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks, and I want to see what you've done to get a job. If you've done nothing, then life's not going to go well. But it's not fair that we all here, I mean, I might as well just give you my wallet now. That's what we're doing. All I'm asking you to do is follow the law, Mr. C-Strong. I don't give out lawyers like it's candy on Halloween, and I expect you to pull your weight. And I don't care if you don't like what I'm telling you, but sometimes in life, someone needs to put you over their knee and tell you this is how things need to go. And you, at 39, need to grow up and pull your weight. Start working. Don't be a bum.
One of the more distinctive approaches Judge Fleischer takes with younger defendants is treating education not as an afterthought, but as a non-negotiable condition of their release. If you're young, if you've stumbled into his courtroom before finishing school, there's a very good chance you'll be walking out with homework, literally. The path forward, in his view, runs straight through a diploma or a GED. That principle played out clearly in early November, when 2 young women were brought before him following an alleged shoplifting incident at a nearby Target. Whatever else Judge Fleischer had to say about their case, one thing was settled before they left that room. Their education would be part of the deal.
How old are you, ma'am?
19.
How old are you, ma'am? What do you guys do for a living?
I don't work.
Did you graduate from high school?
Huh?
Did you graduate from high school?
Not yet.
Not
I
yet.
dropped
You're
out.
19.
I dropped
Start
out.
going to college at 19. What are you doing with yourself now?
I just recently quit my job.
Doing,
My husband didn't want me working anymore.
so you're going to rely on your husband for the rest of your life? That's not a good way to go through life, because that husband at some point may not be there. And if he's not there for you, how are you going to eat? How are you going to support yourself? I have a very young daughter. And one of the things that I'm teaching my daughter is never to rely on any man for any reason. That's why you get an education. That's why you go far in life. So you never have to rely on anyone to be able to take care of you. Because of that, the divorce rate in this country is so high. Never rely on a man. Ever. You need to do something with your life, and you need to get back into high school, and we're going to make sure that happens. Do you understand? I will appoint your lawyer today, but I want to see what you've done in 2 weeks to get back in high school if you've done nothing. Tell me about yourself.
I recently stopped high school because I just had my baby, but I'm trying to get back into school.
No. Likewise, you will be on the same path as well. And if you've done nothing, same thing. Don't ever rely on a man. Men are some men are good, some men are not very good, but you need to be able to rely on yourself so that you work, have knowledge, because if you don't, you'll go nowhere in life. You'll never have money, and you'll always have to rely on a man. Don't. Be smarter. All right. So if you can appoint lawyers to both of them, and then we will have you sign conditions that you're not allowed to go to Target. And I want to see you both back in 2 weeks to see what you've done to start working on your GED. At a minimum, you cannot go through life without having a high school education.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode. Judge David Fleischer isn't your typical portrait of justice. He's messier than that, more human than that. And for a lot of people who've watched from the other side of a screen, that's exactly the point. Whether he inspires you, challenges you, or sparks a debate you weren't expecting, one thing is hard to argue. His courtroom reminds us that the law is never just about the letter of the rule. It's about the people standing in front of it. If today's breakdown gave you something to think about, do us a solid and hit that like button. It's a small thing that makes a big difference for this channel. Subscribe to Gavel and Verdict so you're always first in line when a new case drops. We read every comment, so tell us what you think. Is Judge Fleischer the kind of judge every courtroom needs, or does he go too far? Share this video with someone who loves courtroom content. And until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next verdict.